I went out and met with, in South Bend, Indiana, really nice couple opening up a barbecue restaurant in a beautiful building. They had some guy, I asked them how they came across this opportunity, because they bought this building. It's kind of where they're building these data centers and all this industry over in South Bend. And they bought this building, and it's a newer building, and it had already been built out for a restaurant. It's got a beautiful bar in there. It's huge. It's a block construction, steel roof on it. And it's a barbecue restaurant. There's like a little ancillary building right next door that has a huge smoker in it. It's really cool. And they told me that somebody bought the building, totally remodeled it, outfitted it for a restaurant, and then one of the partners got sick or something, so they never ended up opening the restaurant. But it's got TVs in there, it's got all the kitchen equipment, everything beautiful. Brand new. And this couple bought it. Seemed like a pretty good deal, and they're gonna follow through with opening the restaurant. And they kind of just randomly, they were looking for insurance. They need obviously liquor insurance, liability insurance for the restaurant, insurance for the building, and all this kind of stuff. So they were calling around and found us online. And I talked to the woman who was really nice on the phone for about a half hour, and she had never purchased business insurance before. But she was kind of familiar with what she needed, and she had experience in the restaurant industry. But I gave her a lot of education on the phone, just our first initial call. And I think she really appreciated the time that I spent, kind of just sitting there talking with her, instead of just, hey, let me get your information, give you a quote. She was asking good questions, and I was trying to give her good answers, and we kind of agreed to move forward with the quoting process. And I said, okay, so I'll send you an email with a list of information I'm looking for, and I'll kind of put together some options for you guys, and then I'll come out and meet with you, and we'll kind of go over it. And she was like, oh, you'll come out here? I was like, yeah, no problem. I'll come out to the shop. It's like an hour away. She was kind of mind blown by that. And it just kind of reinforced something to me that we already know, that we already do a lot, is like the people really appreciate the consultative approach that insurance agents take sometimes. Instead of just, hey, I'm giving out free quotes left and right here. Here's the cheapest price. Yeah. Here's the lowest cost. Here's, save money here, 15 minutes or less, save, all this kind of stuff. And for someone that's spending $500,000 of their own money with no mortgage, these people it's an investment for them. They want to take a little bit more time to think through how they're purchasing insurance. And long story short, I got a really good proposal for them with Westfield. Typically, you need prior experience, prior track record of not having claims and stuff to qualify for a company like Westfield, but we were comfortable since it's a really nice building, nice area. They had good experience. So gave them a great proposal, and I drove out there one morning and met with the two of them at the restaurant. And not only did that give me an opportunity to meet with them face to face and kind of build some rapport, and they could put a face to what they were, kind of what they're purchasing, but it also gave me an opportunity to look around the restaurant and look at, I've kind of verified with my own eyes that they have fire suppression system in the kitchen. They've got the smoker, which is kind of a risk, fire and stuff, but it was separated from the main building. There was no major potholes in the parking lot. There's not things that are getting ready to fall off the wall. I mean, it was a good it looked nice. So
yeah.
And I knew that they had talked with a couple of other insurance agents as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it was really ever a question, especially after I went out and met with them. I gave them a fair price, and that was a big part of it. But we really kind of went through the proposal that I put together, and I explained how the property coverage works and what are some options, and I explained, the liquor insurance and how the audit process works. So now they know. They didn't know, liquor insurance is audited, workers' comp insurance is audited. So I took some time and really explained that to them so they don't run into a major issue in the future.
Yeah.
And so that they can track those numbers throughout the year to make sure they're on point. So, my point is that people really appreciate consultative approach to selling insurance, just like, your contractor that you're going to go out and meet with next week. He seems like a guy that is on top of his paperwork, his business. Yeah, it's just a way that we try to deliver value to our clients, other than just, hey, here's your policy, we'll see you next year.
Right.
Yeah.
And some people do want that. Hey, here's your policy, we'll see you next year. So
they do.
You got to sell the right policy to the right person, and that's really it.
And sometimes,
you have to find the right fit.
And
we're not the right fit for everybody either. Right? It's just it is what it is.
No, you're absolutely right. And there have been times where, as an insurance agent, I've been tempted, and I'm sure you've been tempted, where we could make, if there's like a deal that somebody wants us to put together for them, might be lucrative, might seem like an easy sale, but there's a couple of red flags, or this guy, this person doesn't seem like they're telling us the truth totally, or whatever, and you kind of have to make an ethical decision at that point, where is this worth kind of the long-term situation here, where they're going to have issues and cause issues for us, and then sometimes people are, they give us half of the information up front, something bad happens later on, then it was all our fault because we set it up properly. Or didn't set it up properly, or whatever. So we try to avoid those situations.
Yeah.